How's it going, folks? Zach from Uchu Shelf here. Today we are going to discuss a brand new manga that just dropped over the weekend in Shonen Jump. But before we get into that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. You guys know the drill by now. Your support helps me grow the channel, which helps me make more manga-related content for you guys. And that's all I can say about that, so let's jump into it. Now, as I mentioned, over the weekend, we were blessed with a brand new Shonen Jump manga by the name of Zipman. Now, Zipman follows a young man named Kaname who dreams and aspires of acting and becoming the next Jackman, which is a huge tokusatsu TV show. And of course, in traditional shonen manga fare, Kaname ends up becoming entangled in a situation which requires him to become an actual hero himself. Now, at the beginning of the first chapter, we see Kaname at a funeral for his brother, where he notes that it is the beginning of his story. No, wait. Our story. You know, in traditional, ambiguous shonen manga fare. Now, Kaname Tatara is a dude with a pretty scary face, to say the least. But he wants to, more than anything, become the actor for the next Jackman. Now, Jackman is, of course, a tokusatsu TV show on the same level as something like Super Sentai or Kamen Rider. During his audition to become the next Jackman, he's actually quite physically impressive. He can run on the wall without wires, he can do a backflip with absolute ease, and he's even able to punch through cinder blocks, plural. Now, unfortunately, due to Kaname's very scary face, he doesn't make the cut to become Jackman, but the producers offer him the position of a monster, which I can only assume would be wearing a mask, otherwise they wouldn't have offered it to him. After his audition, we learn that his late brother Koshiro was actually something of a child prodigy. He graduated from MIT at the age of 15. He went on to become a very well-renowned mechanical engineer, developing such forward-thinking technology as mind-controlled wheelchairs, exosuits for caregivers, and even automated drones, which, by the way guys, it's Cyber Monday. Whatever that is. While they were growing up, Kaname and Koshiro were pretty much inseparable, and they were also very similar. They liked the same shows, they liked the same games, they both really loved Jackman, the both of them had the same bullies, and of course, both of them fell in love with the same girl named China. After our little flashback and after a soccer game, China and Kaname catch up, at which point, Kaname receives a pretty weird text from Koshiro's phone number saying, "Hey, meet me at this place. Come on, don't worry about it, don't ask questions, just meet me here, come on. It's a shonen manga, come on, you know this by now, come on." And pretty much immediately following these text messages, a massive, giant robot begins crashing through the city. And with all of the elevators in use, China and Kaname decide to escape through the stairwell, and what happens here is where the story kind of gets flipped on its head. A truck comes crashing through the stairwell, and the voice of Koshiro begins speaking to Kaname. It shows him this super suit and says, put it on, don't ask questions, just put it on and fight this giant robot. Now, physically impressive Kaname, of course, puts on the suit, destroys the robot with one punch, absolutely no problem. All of the citizens of Tokyo are happy, everything is perfectly fine, and nothing can go wrong. And then the chapter ends with revealing that the super suit contains Koshiro's consciousness. So the first thing that comes to mind is that Zipman is very visually similar to My Hero Academia. Everything from the character designs down to the super suit designs, even down to the panel composition and line work, and even the way that there is just these really busy action panels that are just filled with speed lines is just something really reminiscent of My Hero Academia. Now, this is actually really easy to explain. Yusaku Shibata, who is the mangaka of Zipman, was once an assistant to Eiichiro Oda of One Piece fame and Horikoshi Kohei of My Hero Academia fame. So it's very easy to see where this artist cut their teeth, but I think the similarity in style is going to give Zipman a bit of a run for its money in terms of trying to stand out. Because quite frankly, there were so many times when I was reading this first chapter that I just looked at a panel or a page and I said, wow, this is very similar to Horikoshi's art style. Now, I'm not going to fault Zipman or Shibata on this because it's his first chapter, and given his resume, I think we can cut him a little slack, and art styles obviously develop with time. There's just such a similarity that it bears a bit of pointing out in discussion. Now, honestly, as someone who isn't that into superhero stories, I wasn't going into this expecting to like it, but honestly, I thought it was pretty fun. It's a bit cliche, although I think superhero stuff kind of tends to be off the bat. You have this sort of wishful thinker who wants to be a hero and eventually gets to become one. A literal call to action of a giant robot destroying the city. And the crucial, mysterious, deceased character who ends up actually not being dead, and they're alive the whole time, and, you know, that whole sort of trope. I love the implementation of tokusatsu in this, though, because like tokusatsu, this has the potential to be a pretty good Monster of the Week series. But of course, because it's a shonen manga, it'll eventually turn into Monster of the Arc, once we're introduced to the inevitable league of pretty bad dudes. The one bit of originality that Zipman does have going for it in a sense is the fact that Koshiro's consciousness is in the super suit that Kaname wears. The team up of Koshiro's brains and Kaname's brawn can prove to be comedic and just generally downright awesome. Now, in my humble opinion, and I have to preface this because it is just my opinion, it's hard to tell how far Zipman is going to go in Shonen Jump. There's very little here distinguishing Zipman from other greats that are currently running or already have been running in the magazine. But that's not to say it's not an impressive manga. It's fun, it's definitely well drawn, the characters are absolutely wonderful, and the way that the story was set up here leaves it for unlimited potential. But comparing this to other first chapters and one-shots of even series that have been cancelled in Shonen Jump, it feels somewhat lacking. That said, I'd love to see how this unfolds, or unzips. Because, like I said, it definitely has the potential, and I'd like to see how far this series goes. For now, if you want to check out Zipman, you can do so in two places, Shueisha's Manga Plus app, and Viz's Shonen Jump app. I'll link both of those down below, or you can find them over on www.wherecanireadmanga.com. Visit that site to get the lowdown on places you can read manga legally, either for free, through a subscription, or per volume. And while I got you here, don't forget to check out Between the Shelves, a brand new manga podcast from me and Kaname on the Shelf. You can get the lowdown on where you can listen to that down in the description below, or go follow us on Twitter @Manga Podcast. Anyway, I'm going to zip up on out of here. Until next time, folks, happy reading.